Hello everyone, Casey here, and welcome to my review for Street Fighter V. It's been over 8 years since Street Fighter 4 came out, and after spending hundreds upon hundreds of hours playing it, it's finally time to move on to the newest installment. But before I start my review for Street Fighter V, I feel I should say I almost don't want to review Street Fighter V in its current state. By now, I'm sure you probably heard some whispers about the game either lacking content or having a shaky launch, which both are true to some extent. At the time of launch, Street Fighter V has several game modes to choose from and play, but only 2 of which are really fully implemented. The game is supposed to have a fully flushed cinematic story mode coming in the months ahead, but for now we're given about 15 to 20 minutes of still images and voice acting with roughly 2 to 4 fights per character. I'm not kidding when you say you can beat this thing in about 20 minutes. Battle Lounge is the go-to place if you want to face your friends, but is currently restricted to just 1v1 matches with no spectating. Once again, rooms supporting up to 8 players will be released sometime in March. Finally, there is Challenges mode, which I'm assuming is going to be the combo trials for each character, an excellent way to get a feel for each character and learn their own moves and basics, if not more. But you guessed it, it's not there yet, and will release sometime in the future. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not an idiot. Well, okay, I'm not that big of an idiot. I understand that Capcom wanted to release Street Fighter V in time for the tournaments, even if that meant there was going to be some missing content. But still, once a game has been released, I consider it fair game for review and criticism. So now that I stated what the game is currently lacking, let's talk about what the game does have. Well, Street Fighter V does have one of the largest at-release character rosters to date, giving players 16 characters, including 4 entirely new ones to choose from. Of the returning characters, I feel like the ones they chose are some of the better ones, from the obvious choices like Ryu and Ken to some of the fan favorites like Charlie Nash and Birdie. Each character once again offering drastically different styles of play. Graphically speaking, this is easily the best Street Fighter has ever looked. It's a highly detailed but still very stylized design, offering realism where it should be, but a timeless aesthetic that will prove to keep the game appealing many years from now. Street Fighter V is the easiest game in the franchise to learn. This time around, it isn't so much about who can have the quickest inputs and the best timing, even though, don't get me wrong, that's still very much an element. But in Street Fighter V, it's more of a mind game. Street Fighter V's many tools are, for the most part, easily and readily available to both veterans and newcomers alike, leveling the battleground just a bit to allow for a more competitive and thoughtful experience. Also, this time around, say goodbye to Ultras and hello to V-Skills, a new mechanic added to give each fighter their own unique skills, whether it's to parry an attack as Ryu or to have multiple hits as Chun-Li. The variations and abilities are quite extensive. Online play was a bit rough in the beginning. In fact, it was almost completely unplayable when the game first released. But hey, I guess that's my fault for trying to play a brand new game when it comes out nowadays. But I'm glad to say, after a couple days and after a few hot fixes on Capcom's behalf, which they were extremely on top of and good at communicating with their community, so bravo there, Capcom. But after a couple days, the game now works nearly flawlessly, which is especially impressive given the fact that the servers are now cross-platform, meaning you can fight online against players on the PC and PS4. Street Fighter V feels like a foundation, a strong and sturdy foundation for years of new and exciting content that Capcom will be giving out, freely in many cases. This game feels like a revolution in the fighting game industry and is just dripping with potential. But unfortunately, at its release, the game does, however, suffer a little bit because of this new foundation. But over time, the game will be getting better and better. My final score for Street Fighter V in its current state is a 6 out of 10. However, once the story mode is implemented and full 8-player lounges are around and challenge mode is here, my score then will more than likely be like an 8 out of 10. Well, thank you guys for watching my review of Street Fighter V. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to click that thumbs up button and subscribe to stay up to date with my latest videos and reviews. Well, until next time, guys.